So this film's called The End of the Line. It's a half-hour documentary, and basically I've spent the last year kind of just getting it made and trying to capture these stories as most honestly as I can.
Now, it's a difficult subject that you've tackled as well. Can you tell me about that?
So subject matter, from one difficult subject straight into the next. Drug use and mainly and specifically ice in Nowra. I've been away from home for nearly 8 years now, and you start hearing these stories from family and friends at first. There's a really this drug ice, and you start hearing bits and pieces, and eventually everyone starts saying there's this drug ice. A friend of mine that worked at a local bar, he got offered ice at a Christmas party from his boss. So you start hearing these kind of weird stories, and you don't think, looking back in rose-coloured glasses, that's not my hometown. And then you start hearing these stories, and then people start staying up for long periods of time, and break-ins and robberies, and then eventually you hear the 32 arrests happen over 1 week, one big sting all around the Nowra area, and that's what really drew my attention back home to make this documentary.
And was that all based on information that you had heard from people, or had you seen seen media reports as well about the problem?
Originally, it was pre-media reports. I like to think we were like 6 months ahead of this kind of. You hear the swell, and you start hearing it, and you get your grandmother or your mother or your dad. So people just saying, "Oh, this is happening. This is happening," and then it kind of really broke, I think, in the media, and that's when it kind of went everywhere.
And were you already filming at that time when it had broken in the media?
Well, I was actually, up to that point, I was kind of pitching this idea, and it was kind of funny. Like, I was a couple of weeks pitching, and then Tony Abbott came out and said, ice epidemic, being outrageous. And that's when, everyone kind of took notice to the idea. So I guess the mainstream coverage of it, again, helped me get noticed to get my idea across the line. But definitely when we started, it was not really heard of.
Now, it premieres tonight. How are you feeling about it all?
I'm actually quite nervous. I mean, it feels like an exam. I'm about to sit an exam, really, like that kind of butterflies in the tummy. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited for people to see the documentary, and I just hopefully, I just kind of want it to be over and done with.
You want it to be over and done with? Why is that?
Well, it's always nerve. It's always, when you create something and put something out there, you're exposing yourself, and not only me, like all the people who took part of the documentary as well. But I hope people appreciate and feel for the stories that we've told.